Hi everyone, it's Helen here and thank you for joining me for today's tutorial. So today we're going to be putting together the highly requested vanity case. So you can make two styles with this. Primarily the die set was designed for this box here, but you can adapt the lid to have it on the outside there. So that will be on a separate demonstration. So here is the vanity case. Again, you could put the lid, the handle wherever you want. And I've used a box latch here. It's a bit stiff because it's a new one. Oh, that came off quite quickly. There you go. It must be getting exercised well. And then inside we have these lovely dividers. Okay, so here is the die set. You get 15 elements. You've got the dividers here, and I'm just about to show you now the cutting guide. I'll be using my brand new papers, which is the Vanity collection papers, and this one there is my favourite, but I'm going to be using this one here today. So the pattern's further down because the pattern's at the bottom of the papers. So I'm going to put this here so I can show you what I've cut out. So you're going to be needing one of these long ones, which is this one. One of these ones here, which is this one, one each of those two, so I have those cut already, and one of those, and this is a layered, so I'll be easier if I actually show you what I physically cut out. So I have two of the stitched mats out of my patterned paper and four of these ones here, and I'm using Creative Expressions in, I think it's called Stone, but there's a few different greys on the Craft Stash website where you can have a browse there. I think that's it. I've done a handle as well. I have cut out an extra bit here, but I'm thinking I might put another box latch on there because I just love the box latches. Otherwise you can add that with a bit of Velcro, the self-adhesive one. I'll show you which ones I use. Here we go, these extra thin ones, and I'll put a link for those down below as well. So everything that I'm using today will be linked down below. So let's jump straight into how to put this together. Super duper easy and straightforward. So I've already added some red double-sided tape here to the inside. So I've got my good side on the outside and I have the inside here. So that's where I'm putting in, because when we add these around these parts here, we're going to double layer it. It's going to be nice and super strong and sturdy, and I'll show you exactly how I'm going to do that. So these thin ones here are going to be for the lid, and these are going to be for the base. So let's get these popped together first. So I'm only going to put, there's two score lines here and two score lines here. I'm only going to score or fold, sorry, it does all the scoring for you. I'm only going to fold these two here. So the ones with the flaps there, don't fold those. Those are guidelines. If you do fold those flaps here, make sure that you repeat it on the lid as well. Otherwise you're going to get a little bit of an odd shape like I did just here. So it goes angular there, and then that bit's round because I didn't copy that. So it will make it look a little bit odd, whereas here I've kept everything smooth and unfolded, so you don't have that angular shape. So it's up to you whether you want to have the angular shape or not. Okay, so all we have to do is just join these together just like that using the tabs, so we get an object that's like that, and then do the same on the lid as well. I'm going to use glue. You can use tape as well if you want to. Just line everything up the best you can. Oops, I bent that the wrong way. There we go. Okay, so before I join these together, I just want to take off the backing tape. It's a lot easier to do that at this point. Just curve that round. There we go. That is that one done. Do exactly the same for this one. Okay, leave that aside. This one has had a little bit of a chance to dry off now, so let's poke all of those in. There we go. It's kind of like a little wagon, isn't it? Okay. Now for our pieces. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it onto the side there, depending on if you're left or right-handed. So I want this straight line here to go in first at a diagonal to match up with the matching flap just there. I'm going to line that up first. It helps to push that down just here in those corners. And then just press that in, line everything up. There we go. And then that should more or less fall into place where you can just push everything around. Just like that. There we go, that's the first one in. And it should look like that on the other side. Hence why we have the next one. That's why I cut 4 out. So that's going to cover that one up. So let's get that glued down. This is Cosmic Shimmer in a squeezy bottle. If you don't know what Cosmic Shimmer looks like in its ordinary bottle, I was going to show you, but the label's been taken off. Sometimes at TV studios they don't like the labels to be on show, so that label's been taken off. But anyway, it's in the description box below, and I always buy the big bottle. I also love the art glitter glue as well. This one dries clear, and it's pretty much the same as the other one, Cosmic Shimmer. That also dries clear. It basically, they both dry really fast. Okay, that is the first one done. That's the base done. Okay, so if you wanted, I'm going to quickly demonstrate or word through it. If you wanted to make the one with this box on the outside here, before you put this together, add it around the center, around the outline, and then glue it closed whilst it's still there, and then you can lift it on and off. However, it wasn't designed for that because we wanted the lid to go flush with the top, just like for this set here. So you will get a little bit of a gap, but it is another option. So you will get a little bit of extra area around the top. But if you have any sort of trim, now this is the wrong sort of trim to go with that paper, but just as a demonstration, you can cover that up, even if it's just a trim like this and doesn't have pom-poms on, if you're not into pom-poms. But knock yourself out if you love pom-poms. So you could quite easily add that around the perimeter there, and that will cover any unsightly bits. But yeah, primarily the lid is supposed to go on like this, so it's good to have the different options and have a play around. Anyway, back to this one now. We're going to be doing exactly the same of what we've done with the lid. So get everything popped in. There we go. I'm getting loads of ideas now on what I can make with this, so I will probably be going live, I think, with some extra ideas. I can think of 2 other things that I can make with this die set. That's not a vanity case. It's 2 other things that are completely different from each other. and I think I'm going to have to demonstrate that. I did have one idea that's ready to go. Okay, here is my second idea. Everything's cut out, I just need to make it, and that will be a tutorial as well. But now I've thought of a third idea, so yes, I'm going to have to make that into a tutorial as well. So I just need to find the perfect papers for that. You've got to get the papers right. Whenever I start a project, it's mostly inspired by the papers, unless I have a specific thing I have to make. But you know, with mini albums and things like that, I don't really even feel like making a mini album until I've decided or been inspired by the papers. That's always where it starts off. Okay, so there is that done. So this is the paper where all of the design is at the bottom, and it's kind of like more plain up the top. So it's a 12 by 12, and we're just going to glue that on. And I do actually need to die cut one more piece. I don't think I have it, so I can quite easily grab out my Big Shot. Again, this is going to be needing a large format die cutting machine, or if you have the Sizzix normal Big Shot and you have the extended platform, so it's long, basically these two pieces here are quite long, it will fit on the extended platform if you have that too. So it's basically for the length, not the width. Okay, so I'm going to die cut out now. I'll do this off camera because I need to heat up my glue gun as well. So where's my pin? Here it is, hiding. Okay, so I'm going to cut out this one just there, and that is going to be my hinge, and then I will be able to finish off the lid and pop the handle on. Okay, so I've cut that out. My glue gun is heating up. Just got it off here. I'm using the Sizzix hot glue gun, and I love it. It doesn't drip. It's fantastic. Not too much comes out. It's just great. And I'm using the stand as well, which is really handy. Okay, so here is my hinge, and I'm going to fold it both ways, just like that. And I'm going to add double-sided tape to both tabs, both ends. And I'm also going to affix this on with some glue as well. Where are my special scissors? Here they are. I'm using the Tim Holtz scissors. They are, is it Teflon or titanium? Anyway, it's non-stick. It just takes a lot longer for that stickiness to build up, so it's a lot easier to use them. I need to get these in a smaller size actually. Okay, press that down. I'm going to add it to the lid, and I'm going to pop it on the outside. You can always cover this back bit here with some paper. And if you do want to, I didn't do it on that first one, but if you want to, you can just add a bit of glue just over that as well. That will give you a little bit more freedom when adding something super sticky to something, if you need to move it about. Plus, once it dries, it is super strong. So line everything up and give that a little bit of a press. Now, I don't want to move this, but I do need to kind of push that in a little bit so it sticks. That's the good thing about having this bent and folded both ways. So this bit here, you've got to be super careful. Okay, I'm going to leave that now. aside to dry. So it does this funny thing here, but because it's I'm going to make a new I don't even know what it's called. I guess it's some sort of like a support guide thing. Anyways, I'll show you on this one. It's a really simple cut, so we don't need a die for it. It's just to make this lip here, and that helps the lid to guide on nicely. So there we go. I will put the measurements for what we're about to make in the description, because we're going to cut a strip and we're also going to score it as well, but I'll make sure those measurements are down in the description box. So grab the same coloured paper, cardstock, that the rest of the box is made from, Avalanche. Famous last words. I'll tidy that up later, but yeah, I will do if I want to go to sleep tonight. Okay, so we are going to cut this at 3/4 of an inch by, I think it's 11. Let me double check that. Okay, so it's literally just the length of this, so that is 11 1/4. Alternatively, you could just cut another one of these out and maybe trim a little bit off. £11 1/4. I'm using the Fiskars Bypass trimmer. It's my favourite trimmer in the whole wide world. It even cuts thick chipboard as well for mini album covers and really thin paper, and it's a self-sharpening rotary cutter blade as well, so it's absolutely fantastic. Grab my scoreboard out, as hopefully it's not too bright. Sometimes it just goes a little funny. Okay, so we're just going to score that at 1/2 inch, and we're not even going to fold that. That is basically our guideline, so the whole thing goes on nice and straight. And scissors, there we go. And to help this close even better, so it doesn't get caught on these corners that stick up, I'm just going to taper that off just like that, and do the same on the other side. There we go. Right, now we're ready to pop this inside here. So I am going to use some tape. I do have some thin tape just to get me some instant stick. Would you keep that? Getting distracted here, I'm a bit of a magpie. Would you keep that just from using the last little bit? I mean, I've got extra rolls here. I've started a new one. I think I'll keep it. Anyways, let me know what you would do in the comments down below. Yeah, I've dropped this on the floor a few times. And I'm going to pop it on this way. I guess it doesn't really matter which side you are using, because it's not been through a machine. It's not going to have the marks from the plate on one of the sides, so you're pretty good either side. And again, I'm going to add more glue here, just along here. Okay, and it's just going to go from this section here to that section there. So don't start in the middle, start on one end, because it's exactly the same length that you need it to be. And again, use the score line as a guide. Okay, that has gone a little bit over. I think you'll be good to have that as 11 inches, not 11 1/4, because I accidentally took into account the extra tab, I think. So I'm just going to trim that off to make it look a little neater. There we go. Now that is going to support the lid when that sits on the top, just like that. Isn't that looking lovely? It's a little bit like those hat boxes I released last year as part of the occasions collection. That was quite nice. Okay, so we're going to make a clasp now and add that. Okay, so these are box latch or latch box box latches. I got these from Amazon. I will see if I can I bought these a couple of years ago, but I'll see if they're still on there. They should be. They come in little packs, so I'm going to need one of each. Now these are lovely. You can use them on mini albums, books, boxes, anything basically. So I am going to be attaching this with glue, so you only want to get glue where these holes are. Same for the other side as well, because the middle bits well, basically they're a working mechanism there, so if you get glue there, it's not going to work. Okay, so as we're not using screws to put this in, we are going to use a bit of tape. Let's find the hole. There we are. Line everything up. Get everything straight how you want it to look when it's finally on your box, just like that. Okay, so grab some tape and then tape that in the right position, just like that. Just keep checking that it's straight. Okay, and then what we're going to do is pop that on there, but I want to have mats here, so I'm going to cut some more mats here. I will leave the sizes for that down below as well as a little cutting guide, because you don't get the mats for these bits here. So I'm going to choose some papers, add the mats on, measurements will be down below, and then we'll be ready to pop on this latch here. Okay, so here it is. It's looking really nice now. I've used a secondary piece of paper just to get that done. I have some of the offcuts here. This is the top half here, so it's not completely white. It does have some of the colours in there from the bottom patterns, so I can then mat the back here with the more plain side. Okay, so let's pop on that box latch now, because my glue is definitely ready. Okay, so make sure you get the orientation right. So I have this coming down here with the buttony bit, this bit here at the bottom. You want it in that sort of position. It's hard to see through the tape. That's upside down, so you want it like that. Okay, I'm going to turn it over sideways, and I'm going to add glue just to that one, just to the either side. There we go, and then because I'm using the tape, keep it the right way, it is keeping everything in the right place, and I have something to hold onto as well while I position this, because these, they're made of metal, and the heat gun, the heat from the hot glue has heated that up, so I can feel that's quite hot. It's heated the whole thing up. Okay, so I'm going to leave that now just to set properly. Just press it down every now and then, because there are holes on there. You may get a bit of glue just coming out the sides or through the top, but we can just trim those off with a pair of scissors. So I'm going to set that aside now just to dry. So I'm going to work on the handle. So here is the handle here. So all we have to do is just fold those up. These don't need a score line on there, you can just do that, because you have the choice here of whether you want them folded or not. So we have something that now looks like that. Grab a bone folder, my scissors are in the way, and just curve that. There we go, that just helps that. And then we can pop this just on there like that. You can have it there, or you can have it on the main section. I think for this one I'm going to pop it there, because I already have an example there with the handle on the top. It would look good, you know, either way. Okay, so once we've popped that on, we can then quickly go with the dividers. The dividers are optional. You can even pop a little mirror on the inside of the lid as well, or add a little pocket if you want to. I'm just going to hold that in place to make sure everything's straight. Now, using these lovely papers, you really don't need to add anything else as decoration, but if you really love that built up lacy and flowery look, you can really decorate that with like strings of pearls and all that sort of stuff. So okay, that is on. So I'm going to just take off the tape now for this latch fastening. Okay, so that is going to come out sideways, just like that. It's a new latch, so it's going to be a little bit stiff. Okay, I haven't got too much glue coming out of the sides, and now we have the center to deal with. So I've cut one of the smaller ones and one of the larger ones. These are really easy to pop in. You simply just fold them. Grab your bone folder, and then you fold out the edges, just like that. Super easy, and this is going to be the divider, so make sure that you put on this bit on first before you do the dividers, or otherwise you'll be picking things apart. So I'm just going to add just a bit of glue just along the bottom there, just to keep that closed. Do the same on the other one, and then we can pop them in. If you want to, you can just do everything in one big swoop. Okay, so this one here is going to go along the center, and as you can see, it's going to glue either side. So add your glue to the tabs. Okay, so I'm going to get the first one in first. The folds at the top and the two ends are at the bottom. So we have a nice neat finish at the top. So get this as central as you can and press that down. This is going to add a lot of sturdity to this box as well. It's really going to be nice and sturdy now. Okay, so there is our first one in. Add glue to the second one. You can choose to have it this side or the other side. I think I'll go for this side is a little bit bigger, so slide that in. There we go. This is going to be perfect if you're giving someone chocolates or other sort of knickknacks, little bath supplies. You could fit a bath bomb in one of those sections. And if you wanted to have a lining at the bottom, obviously put that in first. Use the mat for the top here, use the die for that to do another one at the bottom, make another one for the top, and then pop this in. And there we have our lovely vanity case. Isn't that beautiful? Pop that down, and then we can close that. There we go. And that is our lovely little vanity case. So I've got a lovely one there with the roses. This one is using the papers from this is one using the papers from my Moving Pages collection. I absolutely love this one. I'm going to give this one to my daughter because she loves anything colourful. This is going to look good next to my things. So that is how to put together the Simply Made Crafts vanity case. So if you like this one, give me a thumbs up. Everything that I've used today will be listed down below, and I've got plenty more ideas on what I can make with this die set too, so make sure that you are subscribed down in the corner for some more ideas. So thank you very much for joining me today, and I'll see you again next time.